Let us all remember that we are in the most holy presence of God.
Almighty God, our Father, we praise and thank you for this day. You have given us another opportunity to appreciate life and to fulfill our mission as your instruments of peace and progress. Please pardon us for our shortcomings. Help us to amend our impieties. May we learn to pattern our lives through your Son's example. Father, bless our endeavors, especially today's meeting. Guide us in our discussions. Enlighten our minds in every decision that we make. Give us your courage and grace that we may effectively do our part as public servants. Bless our plans, programs, and projects so that we may achieve our objectives for your greater glory. All this we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Classroom rules. Always follow our rules. First, pay attention to the lesson videos and other learning materials. Then follow the teacher's instruction. Next, no chatting while classes are ongoing unless it's time for asking questions or clarifications. And of course, no to any kind of bullying. Respect your teacher, co-students, and others. For the last, don't hesitate to ask for help to your teacher and also to your classmates when you need it. Welcome to Mathematics Learning Time. We have lesson number 2, Systems of Linear Inequality in Two Variables. So first, let's have the lesson objectives. At the end of the lesson, you will be able to define systems of linear inequalities in two variables, determine if the given ordered pair is a solution or not, illustrates and graphs systems of linear inequalities in two variables. Now let's define systems of linear inequalities in two variables. These are two or more linear inequalities which are solved simultaneously. And the points that satisfy all the inequalities are the solution of the system of linear inequalities. Again, the points that satisfy the inequalities, which means kapag nag-solve kayo at nag-true siya or nag-satisfy sa linear inequalities, that is what we call the solution of the given inequality. At syempre class, dalawa po ang ating inequalities, kaya siya tinatawag nating system of linear inequalities. Ibig sabihin, yung points or yung given point, kapag nag-true pareho or nag-satisfy pareho sa given inequalities, yung dalawang inequality, that is a solution of both inequalities or the system of linear inequalities. Graphically, solutions of the system of linear inequalities are the points common to both inequalities or the intersection of the planes. Kapag po i-graph naman, ang tinatawag nating solution of the system is kung saan po nag-intersect ang dalawang inequalities or yung tinatawag nating points common to both inequalities or the intersection of the planes. Ibig sabihin, kapag nag-shade tayo ng part ng unang inequality and the other shade of the next inequality or the other inequality, At kung saan sila magtagpo or mag-intersect, yun po mismo ang solution. Now, determine if the points are solutions of the system of inequality. Let's have an examples. So, we have the example number 1 in determining the points or a point if it is a solution on the given linear inequalities or systems of linear inequalities in two variables. So, the example for number 1, we have x minus 2y is greater than or equal to 4. And then, 3x minus 2y is less than or equal to 6. And the given point is located at quadrant 1, which is 1 and 2. So now, let's determine if this point or coordinates 1 and 2 is a solution of these systems of linear inequalities. Okay? So let's substitute coordinates 1 and 2 on the first given. So we have x minus 2y is greater than or equal to 4. That means x would be, or 1 would be the x coordinate and 2 would be the y coordinate. So x here would be 1 minus 2 times the y, which is 2, greater than or equal to 4. Next, 1 minus negative 2 times 2 is negative 4, greater than or equal to 4. And then, 1 minus 4, that would be negative 3 is greater than or equal to 4. Ang negative 3 daw ay mas malaki or equal kay 4. That is not correct or false. How about on the second given? We have 3x minus 2y is less than or equal to 6. Then 3 times the x again is 1 minus 2 times the y is 2 less than or equal to 6. 3 times 1 is 3 and then negative 2 times 2 is negative 4 less than or equal to 6. 3 minus 4, that would be negative 1 less than or equal to 6. Negative 1 is less than or equal to 6. Is it correct? Yes, kasi mas bababa po talaga ang negative 1 kesa kay positive 6. So, this is true. Now, class, paano po natin malalaman kung siya ay solution ng ating systems of linear inequalities? Diba sabi ko nga sa inyo, kapag nag-true or nag-satisfy, it is a solution. But class, ang pinagkaiba po kasi ngayon ay dalawa po ang given. So, dapat parehong mag-true sa dalawang given for us to say na ito ay solution ng systems of linear inequalities. Since meron tayong isang false, isa lang din ang true, that means it is not a solution. Okay? So, this coordinates 1 and 2 is not a solution. Okay, that means ang ating quadrant 1, which having a point 1 and 2 is not a solution. Let's proceed with quadrant 2 with coordinates negative 2 and 1. So, let's substitute. So, the x would be negative 2 and the y would be the 1. So, the x would be negative 2 minus 2 times the y is 1 greater than or equal to 4. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2 greater than or equal to 4. Negative 2 minus negative 2 is negative 4 greater than or equal to 4. Di ba negative 4 daw ay mas mataas or equal kay 4? Yes, pareho silang 4, pero negative ang isa. Okay? At mas bababa talaga ang negative kesa positive. So, this is false. How about the other? So, we have 3 times negative 2 minus 2 times 1 is less than or equal to 6. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2, less than or equal to 6. Negative 6 minus 2 is negative 8, less than or equal to 6. That is true. Kasi mas bababa po talaga ang negative 8 kesa kay positive 6. And again, kapareho na example number 1 kanina, false and true, hindi parehong true. That means, it is not a... So the other point is quadrant 3, which having a point negative 2 and negative 4. Now let us substitute. We have x minus 2y is greater than or equal to 4, and the x would be negative 2, the y would be negative 4. So the x would be negative 2. Negative 2 times the y is negative 4, greater than or equal to 4. Negative 2, then negative 2 times negative 4 is negative or positive, rather, 8. Greater than or equal to 4. Negative 2 plus 8, since magkaiba ng sign, so ima-minus natin, the answer would be 6. Positive 6 kasi mas malaki po ang 8 na mayroong sign na positive. Is greater than or equal to 4. Is it true? Yes, kasi mas malaki po ang 6 kesa kay 4. So this is true. Next, we have 3x minus 2y is less than or equal to 6. So 3 times the x is negative 2 minus 2 times the y is negative 4 less than or equal to 6. Okay? So 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. Negative 2 times negative 4 is positive 8 less than or equal to 6. Negative 6 plus 8, since magkaiba nga po ng sign, ima-minus natin. So we have 2. That would be positive 2 kasi mas malaki po ang 8 kesa kay 6. Less than or equal to 6. Is it true? Yes, kasi mas mababa ang 2 kesa kay 6. And now class, meron na tayong parehong true and true. That means, quadrant 3 with the point or coordinates negative 2 and negative 4 is a solution of the system of these linear inequalities. Okay? Now let's try another one. In quadrant 4 with the points 2 and negative 3. Okay, let's check kung siya ay solution din ng ating systems of linear inequality by substituting. So we have x minus 2y is greater than or equal to 4. The x would be 2 and the y is negative 3. So again, the x would be 2 minus 2 times the y is negative 3 greater than or equal to 4. Negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6. Greater than or equal to 4. 2 plus 6, the answer would be 8. Greater than or equal to 4. Is it true? Yes, kasi mas mataas po ang 8 kesa kay 4. So this is true. Next, we have 3x minus 2y is less than or equal to 6. So 3 times the x is 2. This would be positive 2. Minus 2 times the y is negative 3 less than or equal to 6. Then 3 times 2 is 6. Negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6 less than or equal to 6. 6 plus 6 is 12 less than or equal to 6. Is it true na ang 12 daw ay mas maliit kay 6? It's not true kasi nga mas mataas po ang 12, positive 12 kesa kay positive 6. So this is false. And again, hindi sila parehong true. That means, quadrant 4 having point 2 and negative 3 is not a solution of the systems of linear inequalities, of this given linear inequalities. Okay? So, ganun lamang po siya, pareho po nang na-discuss ko ng lesson 1. Ang pinagkaiba lang nila, dalawa po ang ating linear inequalities. At yun nga po ang tinatawag nating systems of linear inequalities. But they are having the same process. Okay? And how about on how to graph systems of linear inequalities? So let's have a review first. In boundary line again, greater than or less than, that is what we call dashed line. So ito po yung itsura ng kanyang boundary line. And then, less than or equal or greater than or equal ay solid line. So, ito naman po ang itsura ng ating solid line. Isang diretso lamang line, straight. And then, how about the type of the graph? So, kung ang ating dashed line, which is the greater than or less than of inequality, ang tawag sa kanya ay open half plane. Again, open half plane kasi nga po, yung points na madadaanan nitong si dashed line or boundary line ay hindi po siya parte ng solution ng inequalities. While ang ating closed half plane, kung sino man or kung ano man ang madaanang points ng ating boundary line, solid line, ibig sabihin siya ay part ng solution or kasama sa solution ng systems of linear inequalities. And for the graph of inequality, again, dapat nasa ganitong form. Dapat nasa ganitong form of the inequality, which is slope-intercept form. So, y is greater than 2mx plus b, and the boundary line is dashed line. And syempre, since greater than ang kanyang inequality, so above the dashed line. In ating y is less than mx plus b, dashed line ulit. And since less than, so below the dashed line. While for this, y is greater than or equal to mx plus b, so solid line na siya. And since greater than, so above the solid line. Y is less than or equal to mx plus b, that would be solid line. And since less than or equal siya, so below the solid line. Let's proceed with the method to graph systems of linear inequalities. We have methods in graphing linear inequalities. First, replace the inequality sign of both systems with equality sign. Next, find for the slope and y-intercept of both systems, then graph. Number 3, choose testing points for both systems to check for the solution of inequalities, and then shade the region where the point belongs. Now let's proceed with graphing systems of linear inequalities with this example. So we have 2x plus y is greater than to 6 and x plus y is greater than or equal to 2. Okay, let's go back with the process. The first method for this is to replace inequality sign into equal sign. So let's have the first inequality, which is 2x plus y, and the greater than would be equal sign, equals 6. And the other one is x plus y, the greater than or equal would be equal sign, so equal to 2. Next, find for their slope and the y-intercept. Okay, and how to find the slope and the y-intercept? We need to transform this standard form into slope-intercept form. So again, we have y is equal to mx plus b. Gayahin natin ang format na ito para makapag-transform tayo. So si y nasa left na sadya. So remain ang y natin equals mx natin nasa right. So si 2x dito ilipat sa kabila. Magiging negative 2x. And then si 6 nasa right na sadya. So remain positive 6. Okay, let's go to here. So we have y is equal to mx plus b. And then, remain ulit si y kasi nasa left na talaga. Then si x ilipat sa kabila, magiging negative x. And then si 2 remain positive 2. Okay? Na-transform natin sila into slope-intercept form. So just get the slope in the y-intercept. So m here would be, ang katapat ni m ay negative 2. So siya yung slope natin. While for the b or the y-intercept, ang katapat niya ay 6, so 6. And the point would be 0 and 6. Kasi po, y-intercept. Ibig sabihin, nandito ang ating 6 sa y. This would be x. Okay? Next, the m here is yung katapat niya, which is having imaginary 1, so negative 1. And then for the b would be 2, positive 2. So we have 0 and positive 2. Okay? The next step, we need to graph them using rise over run or their slope. The first point would be 0, 6 and 0 and 2. So unahin natin ito, 0, 6, igagraph natin. And then saka natin isunod ang 0 and 2. Okay class? So ang una nga po natin i-graph ay 0 and 6. So 0 and 6. So yung 6 natin ay sa y-axis, itong pa-vertical. Hanapin natin kung nasaan si 6. Since siya ay positive, so ibig sabihin nasa taas. 0, 6. Nasa mismo y-axis. Okay? And then next, ang ating slope ay negative 2. Since siya ay negative, ibig sabihin hindi tayo mag-move upward. Ibig sabihin nun, mag-move tayo downward. Nang dalawa, and then, may imaginary 1 siya sa denominator, so mag-move tayo ng isa pa kanan. Okay? So, from 0, 6, baba daw tayo ng dalawa. 1, 2. So, na kay 4 na. And then, move kay right ng isa. So, nandito. Okay? So, meron tayong 1 and 4. And then, baba ulit tayo daw ng dalawa. So, 1, 2, naka 2 na tayo. And then, move ng isa sa right. So, nandito ang ating point. Then, we have 2 and 2. Move ulit tayo ng dalawa. So, 1, 2, nasa x-axis na tayo. And then, move ng isa sa right. So, ang ating point ay 3 and 0. Okay? Move ulit tayo ng dalawa. 1, 2. Then move sa kanan ng isa. Now we have 4 and negative 3. Move ulit tayo sa baba ng dalawa. 1, 2. Move sa kanan ng isa. So, meron na tayong 5 and negative 5. Okay? So, it's up to you kung gusto mo hanggang dulo or kung hanggang saan ang ginarap mo or yung ating y-axis and x-axis. Kung gusto mong isagad hanggang kung saan ka nag-graph, it's fine. As long as tama ang iyong pag-move ng pababa or at saka pa kanan. And then, anong gagawin natin? Okay, class? Since may mga points na tayo, so connect natin yung points or pagkatapos natin i-plot, connect na natin. Since meron tayong y is greater than to negative 2x plus 6 at hindi tayo nag-divide ng negative, ibig sabihin, hindi mag-change ang ating inequality na greater than. Since siya ay greater than, ibig sabihin, ang gagamitin natin boundary line ay dash line. So, connect natin using dash line. Okay, na-connect na natin. And then, since siya ay greater than, so ano nga po ulit ang technique natin without choosing testing points? Kapag greater than, ibig sabihin, above the boundary line. So, ibig sabihin, yung above natin, nandito. So, class, kung kayo ay nalilito pa rin, alin ba talaga yung above? Alin ba yung below? Okay? Ang gagawin nyo, kumuha kayo ng testing points. So, dito, ang ating i-graph daw ay ang part na ito. Okay? Itong above. So, dito sa part na to, sa above of the dash line, ang kuhanin natin ay 3 and 3. So, ito yung point na yan. 3 and 3 ang kuhanin natin sa part na ito. Since dito ay may origin, so origin ang gamitin natin. Substitute lang po natin sa ating y is greater than to negative 2x plus 6. This would be x and then the y. So, y is 3 greater than to negative 2 times 3 plus 6. So, 3 is greater than to negative 2 times 3 is negative 6 plus 6. So, 3 is greater than to 0. Is that correct? Yes. True. How about yung isa? So, y is greater than negative 2x plus 6. Okay? So, 0 is greater than negative 2 times 0 plus 6. So, 0 is greater than 0 plus 6. So, 0 is greater than 6. Is it true? This is not true. So, false. So, ito ay false. Ibig sabihin, ang part na may kasamang origin or yung part na ito ay hindi natin isi-shade. So, ang part na i-shade natin ay ito, which is tama naman sa napili nating i-graph. I-graph natin ang part na ito. Maglagay muna tayo ng box para may boundary ang ating pag-graph. Then, graph natin. So, you can see, sinasagad ko siya hanggang sa dulo ng box. Okay? Ayan. So, nag-graph na natin ang part na ito. How about naman yung ating pangalawang inequality, which we have y is greater than or equal to negative x plus 2. Punta tayo sa kanyang coordinate or yung point niya, 0 and 2. Nasaan ba ang 0 and 2? Since ang 2 natin ay nasa y-axis, so sa taas kasi positive. So here it is, the 0 and 2. And then next, ang ating slope ay negative 1 and having positive 1 in the denominator. So that means mag-move tayo ng isa pababa and then isa sa right. Okay? Move daw tayo ng isa. So nandito tayo sa 1 and then move sa right ng isa. So we have 1 and 1. Okay? Next, baba daw ulit tayo ng isa. So, nasa 0 tayo. Then, move sa right ng isa. Okay? So, we have 2, 0. Next, baba daw ulit ng isa. Then, move sa right ng isa. Next, move po tayo ng isa. Pababa, and then move tayo sa right ng isa. Now we have 4 and negative 2. Okay, then baba daw ulit tayo ng isa. So, nasa negative 3 na tayo, and then move sa right ng isa. So, we have 5 and negative 3. As you can see, nag-go-overlap na siya dun sa iginarap ko. Okay? So, gawin natin, i-connect na natin yung mga points. And again, this is greater than or equal. So, that means ang ating boundary line ay solid line. Connect natin sa solid line by using solid line. Okay? So, extend lang tayo dito ng solid line. Gumamit na kayo ng ruler para maayos ang ating pag-connect. Okay. So, class, as you can see, nag-overlap na kagad siya dito. Ano? And then, check natin. Since siya ay greater than, ibig sabihin, above ng saan po? Ibig sabihin siya ay above the boundary line, which is the solid line. That means, itong part na ito, kasama ito, ay i-graph natin. Okay? Kung nalilito pa nga kayo, di syempre, gagamit po tayo ng testing point. Okay, dun sa taas, ang gamitin nating testing point ay 0, 3. And doon naman sa kabilang part ito ay, again, the origin. Okay, so unahin natin ang 0, 3. So, y is greater than or equal to negative x plus 2. So, 0 would be the x and 3 would be the y. So, y is 3 greater than or equal to negative 0 plus 2. 3 greater than or equal to 2. Is it correct? Yes, this is correct or true. How about sa ating 0, 0? So we have y is greater than or equal to negative x plus 2. And then 0 is greater than or equal to 0 plus 2. So 0 is greater than or equal to 2. Is that correct? False. So ibig sabihin, hindi po ito ang ating isi-shade. So yung nasa above pa din. Plus, i-require ko po kayo na gumamit ng ibang ballpen. For example, kung na-shadean nyo na ang part na ito at kulay black po iyon, ang gagamitin nyo na po sa kabila ay either blue or red or green. Basta iba po ang kulay, hindi po pwede ang lapis. Hindi po ako tatanggap ng lapis kahit po dito. Again, ballpen lang po ang gagamitin natin. Walang gagamit ng lapis sa pag-shade. So, i-shade natin kasi above daw, nandito sa 0, 3. Shade natin dito. Okay, as you could see, dito sa stripes, di ba yan yung graph ng ating pangalawa, which is y is greater than or equal to negative x plus 2. So, ito po yung shade niya. At kasama po dito itong part na ito. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, ito pong magulong part, ito po yung intersection ng ating linear inequalities or system of linear equality. 2x plus y is greater than to 6, x plus y is greater than or equal to 2. So, ito po yung part na may intersection. Paano po natin malalaman na yun po talaga ang intersection? Let's check. Kuha po tayo dito ng point na magsasatisfy sa dalawang ito. Pag nag-satisfy po iyon, ibig sabihin, tama po ang ginrap natin. Okay, let's check. So, ito po, maaaring ang kuhanin natin ay positive 3 and positive 4. Kasi parehong positive 3 and 4 ay nandito. Okay? Nandito sa part ito, dito sa magulong part. Okay? So, points 3 and 4. Y is greater than to 2x plus 6, x and y. So, 4 is greater than negative 2 times 3 plus 6. So, 4 is greater than negative 6 plus 6. 4 is greater than 0, which is true. Okay? Dun sa isa natin, y is greater than or equal to negative x plus 2. So, 4 is greater than or equal to negative 3 plus 2. 4 is greater than or equal to negative 1. Is this true? Yes, kasi mas mataas pa rin. Okay? So, you can see, tama po ang ating graph. And yung intersection nila talaga ay nandito sa part na to. Itong magulong part. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, yun po ang solution ng ating systems na given. Okay, let's have another example, which is x is less than negative 3 and y is greater than positive 2. Okay? Yung ating unang method, which is, we need to replace the inequality sign into equal sign. So, we have now, x is equal to negative 3 and y is equal to positive 2. So, class, wala naman tayong i-divide dito sa unang inequality at wala rin po tayong i-divide sa pangalawang inequality since wala po tayong coefficient ni x and y other than 1. Okay? May invisible 1 po kasi tayong coefficient. Since wala naman pong 2 or more than 2, so hindi natin kailangan mag-divide. Okay? So, ito na po talaga. And then, let's find for the slope and the y-intercept or the x-intercept. Especially with the first given. Kasi x ang ating given, ibig sabihin x-intercept. Again, kapag x-intercept, the slope is undefined. And then, the x-intercept would be negative 3, which having the point negative 3 and 0. While on y is equal to 2, while in y is equal to 2, the slope is m is equal to 0, and then the y-intercept, or the b is equal to 2, and the slope must be The y-intercept is equal to 2, so the point would be 0 and 2. Okay? Next step is to graph using the slope and the y-intercept or the x-intercept. So we need to graph them in one Cartesian plane or one coordinate plane. Okay, so ang unahin natin ay negative 3 and 0. So we have, since siya ay x-intercept, so nandito sa ating y-axis. At hanapin natin yung may negative. So nandito ang negative. That would be negative 3. So nandito ang ating negative 3, 0. Okay? And then, the slope is undefined. So ibig sabihin, hindi po tayo makakapag-rise and run. Sa ating graph, since siya ay less than, ano po kaya siya? Dash line or solid line? Since siya ay less than, so we have dash line. So, ang graph po natin ay broken lines. Graph na natin, maglagay tayo ng boundary line. And then, since siya ay less than, so ang i-shade nating part ay nasa left din. Kasi nga po, less than. Kapag po kasi greater than, ibig sabihin sa right side ang ating i-graph. That means, dito po tayo mag-graph. And since tayo nga ay less than, ang ating x is less than negative 3, so ibig sabihin, ang i-graph natin ay nasa left side. Kasi kung siya ay greater than, syempre, right side naman ang i-graph. Now, let's have a testing point for us to prove na ito talagang left side ang ating i-graph. Okay? So, sa ating testing point, ang gamitin natin sa part na ito ay itong negative 4 and 0. So, we have negative 4 and 0. And syempre, dito sa kabilang part ay yung ating origin, 0 and 0. So, let's try that. So, negative 4, saan pa siya ang x? And this would be the y. So, we have x is less than negative 3. So, x is negative 4 less than negative 3. Is that correct? Na mas mababa daw ang negative 4 kaysa kay negative 3. Yes. So, that is true. How about ang ating 0, 0 and in this part? So, we have x is less than negative 3. So, 0 is less than negative 3. Is it true? Na mas mababa pa daw ang 0 kaysa negative 3? Of course not. So, this is false. Ibig sabihin, kung saan nag-true, doon tayo mag-graph. And again, ang ating negative 4, 0 ay dito sa left side, which is tama din sa sinabi natin kanina, na kapag less than, left side ng ating i-graph. Okay? So, i-graph natin. Okay, so nag-graph na natin yan. How about yung ating y is greater than 2? So, ang kanyang y-intercept ay 0, 2. So, hanapin natin si 0, 2 sa ating y-axis. So, ito yung 0 and then 2. Since siya ay positive, so nasa taas. So, nandito po ang ating 2. So, yun ang ating pa-plot. And then, ang kanya pong slope ay 0. Ibig sabihin, pa-horizontal po ang ating boundary line. And again, ang kanyang inequality ay greater than. So, ibig sabihin, dash line ang ating gagamitin. Okay? And then, ang nakalagay sa atin ay greater than. Ibig sabihin, above the dash line ng ating i-graph. So, nandito. Hindi po ito. Kasi above, so that means ito yon. And then, for us to prove na siya ay above talaga, so, humanap tayo ng testing point ng region na ito and region na ito kung saan mag-true yun ang ating i-graph. Okay? For this part, let us use 0 and 3. So, we have 0 and 3. And for the other one, syempre yung ating origin. So, substitute po natin. So, y is greater than 2. Syempre, ang ating 0 ay x, ang y ay 3. So, y natin is 3. 3 is greater than 2. Is that correct? Yes, correct siya. How about ang ating 0, 0? Y is greater than 2. So, we have 0 is greater than 2. Is that correct? No, false. Ibig sabihin, tong part na ito, nag-false, nag-true siya, so ibig sabihin, tong 0,3 ang i-graph natin. Which is, tama rin naman sa sinabi natin kanina, na kapag greater than ay above the dash line. Okay? So, i-graph natin. Okay, so yung pag-graph po natin, nakaslant yung ating y is greater than to 2, tapos ito naman ang ating x is less than to negative 3. As you can see, saan po sila nagkaroon ng intersection. Ibig sabihin, nag-overlap ang ating shaded part. Kung makikita nyo, nandito siya. Kung alin dito ang na-double ang ating shaded part. Kung ibang color ang gagamitin nyo, makikita nyo talaga siya. Kaya sabi ko nga sa inyo, i-encourage ko kayo na gumamit ng other colors. Okay? So, ito pong part na ito ang ating tinatawag na solution of the systems of x is less than negative 3 and y is greater than to 2. Now, I think you are now ready for classwork number 2. Please answer page 182, numbers 1 to 20 on your notebook or intermediate paper. So, for online learners, pwede po kayong mag-send ng inyong solution sa ating Google Classroom. And then, for offline learners naman, pakisulat sa notebook, pilasin. O kaya naman ay sa intermediate paper, then ilagay sa brown envelope, then pakipasa sa school lobby or barangay hall. Now, I'll be presenting to you your to-dos for 1 week. So, here are your to-dos for this week. Today, after watching the video, answer classwork number 2 with solution. If you are online learners, please send it through Google Classroom. If you are offline learners na magsasubmit kayo through school lobby or barangay hall, pakilagay ito sa envelope and then dalhin nyo na lamang school lobby or barangay hall. Tomorrow, download on the Quipper the answer key with file name K_Q2 lesson 2 _math 8 _mamlet. So for online learners, mada-download nyo po siya sa Quipper. For offline learners naman, meron kayong makikita sa flash drive. Naka-image form. The next day, download PETA on Quipper or Google Classroom with file name P_Q2 lesson 2 _math 8 _mamlet. So, for online learners, pwede po kayo mag-download ng PETA. Again, may makikita kayo doon na textbook download. So, maaaring yung piliin ng ating mismong PDF para diretso ang print kung nakakapag-print tayo. Kung hindi naman, may editable worksheet, pwede kayo mag-edit doon. For offline learners naman, nakapresent na dito sa video ang ating PETA at meron din akong ilalagay sa mismong flash drive nyo in image form para mas madali nyong masagutan. So, hindi naman kailangan na kopyahin pa ang buong PETA. Ang mahalaga ay yung final answer with solution. Hindi po pwedeng walang solution. And on Saturday, answer your self-assessment week 2. So again, for the online learners, nasa Quipper po iyan. For offline learners, may makikita po kayong image form sa ating or sa inyong flash drive. And then, pakisagutan sa long bond paper. Pakilagyan ng week 2. So here is your PETA number 1 entitled as Math Challenge. So, we have part 1 and part 2. Sa part 1, malinaw po ang direction. Ilalagay nyo lamang ang word na amazing kung sa tingin nyo ang given point ay solution. Kung hindi naman siya solution, ang ilalagay nyo ay word na grace. Okay? At nakalagay po dyan, show your solution on the space provided after each given. Okay? For the part 2, solve each system of inequalities graphically. Ibig sabihin, mag-graph po kayo. Kaya ito pong solution, sa long bond paper po isusulat. O kung mas maganda at ang gusto nyo po, since may graphing tayo, mag-graph kayo dyan, pwede naman po na sa graphing paper na kayo magsulat ng graph nyo at saka ng solution. Okay? Just make sure na may solution kayo. Okay, that would be the end of the class. Thank you and God bless.